LOL, this is so goofy. If a man is emotionally unavailable, just leave girly. Pops, save yourself. For anyone wondering, this is a comment in relation to a video I just made today where I was saying that if your romantic interest is giving you breadcrumbs, that you need to appreciate that. You need to appreciate them giving you breadcrumbs so that it builds momentum eventually over time, instead of getting pouty and upset that you're not getting instant gratification for the thing that you truly desire, which is attention and love. Now, I want to ask and challenge this comment because I feel where this is coming from. You just feel in your gut, you just feel kind of enraged a little bit. You want to walk away, you want to leave a message, you want your actions to speak louder than your words. But in doing that, did that ever really get anyone the result that they wanted? Some people have probably tried to communicate to their partner or romantic interest over and over and over again, and they still probably never got the result that they wanted. Maybe they did leave and they walked away, or they withdrew, and they eventually found someone else who would give them the thing that they desire. And fair enough, kudos to those who have found the love and attention they deserve. But if you're thinking about and aiming for someone specific, especially someone who's rejected you, what if there is something that we've been failing to understand? What if there are patterns that in ourselves that we have failed to identify? What if there are patterns in the other person that we can look at and see where that other person is coming from? Is that person failing to give us attention and love because they're such a narcissist? Are they really a narcissist? What does it say about you if you were to actually believe that about them? It would say that you really don't believe your partner has the capacity or the capability to do that. Or maybe you do feel that way, but because they're not expressing that, it makes you feel so angry. Either way, both responses kind of repulse your partner or romantic interest. And so sometimes I do get this. You'd be caught between a catch-22, between a rock and a hard place, and you wouldn't know which way to move because either direction is just painful. So leaving, and I get this, leaving tends to be the less painful option. And this is the thing. People will gravitate towards a decision or a choice in which the pain is less painful than another variation of pain. So if leaving is less painful than staying, because staying is more painful, then it's obvious that you're probably going to leave. You probably identify and immerse yourself in a narrative where you say to yourself, I'm a person who deserves respect, likely. And so you go seeking out someone else who will give that to you. But isn't this the challenge, right? The challenge is, how come the other person didn't recognize that in you, if that's the case? Or what did you do to enable that person to give you the love and the attention that you deserve? What if we put ourselves in a position where it became difficult to access love and attention? This is especially true for more homeless men or single mothers. Generally speaking, no disrespect, but people do not want to get married to a homeless man or to a single mother. No disrespect. It's just that the value that these people bring to the table, it is not what the other party desires. And so maybe we could sit with ourselves and ask ourselves, why is it? What is preventing the other person from giving love? What is preventing the other person from giving me the attention that I deserve? So we could be more communicative. We could ask these more direct or indirect questions. We could be more patient, extremely patient. You have no idea how patient we could be. We could give our partner or ex or romantic interest, so much space to think and let them have the power to decide for themselves if they want to be with us or not. And regardless if they want to be with us or not, we're still going to do whatever we can to make our lives very inviting for them. Did we make ourselves inviting? Or did we just give up immediately because someone random on the internet said, nah, this person, if they're blinking at you twice, then that means they're cheating behind your back. Read these tarot cards, your fate is told in this way. I guess my overall point is, what if you are wrong? What if leaving is not the answer? Because what if you're not actually going to get the thing you want by doing it that way? That's the easy option. It might not be easy at first, but it's probably the much easier option. The harder option, the more challenging option, the option that will probably have a lot more doors to open would be being patient, staying, asking deeper questions, and asking yourself why to the other person over and over again, emotionally examining our own flaws and shortcomings. because we don't really have control over whether that person will love us or give us attention or not. But we do have the power to make ourselves as inviting as possible for that person. And if we just give up and leave them because, oh, I'm going to punish you, I'm going to walk away, I'm going to send a message, I'm going to find someone else better, blah, 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 then what does it really say about you? To give up so easily, to be so frightened and taken aback by just a small inconvenience. And sure, it's not really a small inconvenience, it is an emotional toll. But this also draws the question, do you have the capacity to deal with this? Well, how come you don't have the capacity to deal with this? Where's your energy? Are you wasting your energy? It's like, we should get more energy, you know? So are you making at least $10,000 per month? Why not? That should be normal. And then if the more money you have, the more you're able to express and have fun, etc. I could keep going on and on and on. I'm just, again, saying, like, leaving. I did that once. I don't know, maybe twice, maybe a few times actually, I don't know. Did it really ever get you? Did it ever get me what I wanted? The only time I would say you should leave is, yeah, obviously people that you should leave or withdraw if there's an argument or there's some type of tension, especially if there's hostility, especially if there's violence. That's when you should withdraw. But even in my household, where I live with family members such as siblings, parents, and we've had physical confrontations in the past, we still forgave each other and we still live in the same household. Sure, I withdrew for a long time, but then I came back eventually. And so that's where I came up with the saying, it doesn't take, there's more than one way to skin a fish, which means there's more than one way to skin a cat. You know, you don't need a professional program or a therapist to tell you how to reconcile, how to get back on good terms with someone. Someone removing themselves, you know what? If I was the man and you did leave, right? If you did leave and I was the man who failed to give attention and I failed to give the love that you would deserve, right? If I was the man and if you walked away, right? I would probably me personally, be reflecting and thinking about where I went wrong. And I'd probably have to sit with the fact that maybe my actions were perceived as not damaging or harmful, but just neglectful. And it made you feel upset. And it would have put you to the point where you had no choice but to walk away. I would be thinking about the psychological factors that brought us to this moment. I'd probably beat myself up a little bit and I'd be apologizing and I'd be wanting to do better. And I'd be making sure that my household was as inviting as possible for you to return. Now, if the circumstances were right and a few months or some time passed, I'm sure those wounds, they would start to heal. And so, yeah, blanket outright leaving, just out of the blue, ain't the best option.